Welcome to Phillies Fan Central, where passion meets the diamond and every fan's voice counts.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Phillies Fan Central, your absolute home for everything involving our fight-in Phils. I am so glad you could join me today because the stove isn't just hot, it is practically melting down in South Philly right now. Before we get into this massive exclusive I have been chasing all morning, I need a huge favor from the best fans in baseball. If you bleed red and white, please hit that subscribe button right now. Give this video a massive thumbs up. Turn on those notification bells so you never miss a breaking update. And most importantly, stay tuned until the end because I want to hear your raw, unfiltered opinions in the comments. We are building a community here for the fans, by the fans, and your voice is what drives this channel forward. Now, let's talk business. We all felt that sting at the end of last season. That red October energy was electric, but it ended far too soon, and Dave Dombrowski knows it. My sources close to the situation are telling me that the front office isn't just looking for marginal improvements this winter. They are looking to land a legitimate superstar to patrol the outfield at Citizens Bank Park. The name that keeps surfacing in high-level discussions is none other than the Chicago White Sox powerhouse Luis Robert Jr. This isn't just a what-if scenario anymore. Based on recent internal discussions, the Phillies have checked in on Robert Jr.'s availability multiple times over the last 48 hours. We are talking about a guy who, when healthy, is a top 5 talent in the entire league. In 2023, he launched 38 home runs and drove in 81 runs while playing elite defense. Think about that for a second. Imagine a lineup where you have Kyle Schwarber leading off, followed by Trea Turner and Bryce Harper, and then you drop a healthy Luis Robert Jr. right in the middle of that. It is a nightmare for any pitching staff in the National League East. The Phillies front office is reportedly enamored with his right-handed power, which would provide the perfect balance to our lefty-heavy core. Last season, we saw how much the team struggled when opposing managers could just cycle through left-handed relievers to neutralize Harper and Schwarber. Adding a bat like Robert Jr.'s makes that strategy impossible. He hit over 25 home runs against right-handed pitching alone 2 seasons ago. If you want to keep up with these rapid-fire rumors and get the most reliable deep dives into the roster, make sure you're following the channel and have those notifications on so you stay ahead of the curve. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. The injury history is a real concern. Last year, he was limited to just 100 games and his batting average dipped to 224. But here is the inside scoop. The Phillies training staff has been reviewing his medical data, and there is a belief that a change in scenery and a more competitive environment could be exactly what he needs to stay on the field. When you're playing for a rebuilding team in Chicago, the grind is different. When you are playing in front of 45,000 screaming fans in Philadelphia, that adrenaline changes everything. Dave Dombrowski has a history of taking these kinds of calculated risks on elite talent, and more often than not, he comes out on top. He isn't afraid to trade away pieces of the future to win a World Series title right now. And honestly, with Bryce Harper in the middle of his prime, can we really blame him? The clock is ticking, and the Phils are ready to strike while the iron is hot. Moving into the deeper logistics of a potential blockbuster like this, we have to talk about the ask. Chicago isn't going to give away a 27-year-old superstar for nothing. To get a deal of this magnitude over the finish line, my sources suggest the White Sox are asking for a package centered around at least 2 of our top 5 prospects. We are likely looking at parting ways with someone like Mick Abel, whose stock is still incredibly high, despite some AAA struggles and potentially a high upside bat like Justin Crawford. It is a steep price to pay, but as the old saying goes, you have to give up talent to get talent. The Phillies have been hoarding pitching depth in the lower minors, specifically for a moment like this. If you can turn a couple of maybe prospects into a guaranteed superstar like Robert Jr., you do that trade 10 times out of 10. Financially, the move actually makes a surprising amount of sense for John Middleton's checkbook. Robert Jr. is signed to a very team-friendly contract that includes club options for 2026 and 2027, both valued at $20 million. In today's market, getting an all-star center fielder for $20 million a year is an absolute steal. It gives the Phillies the flexibility to still go out and bolster the bullpen or find a reliable fourth starter. We saw how much the bullpen missed that one extra lockdown arm during the playoffs, and saving money on the Robert Jr. trade compared to signing a massive free agent like Juan Soto would allow the front office to address those pitching needs simultaneously. It is about building a complete roster, not just a top-heavy one. Let's look at the defensive impact as well. While Johan Rojas has been a wizard in center field, his bat has been a significant liability in high-leverage postseason moments. You simply cannot have a black hole at the bottom of the lineup when you are facing elite pitching in October. Luis Robert Jr. provides almost the same level of defensive range while being a massive upgrade offensively. He has a career slugging percentage of nearly 500, and his ability to cover ground at the bank would save our corner outfielders a lot of wear and tear. This move would signify a total shift in philosophy, moving away from defensive specialists and toward a power at every position approach that defined the great Phillies teams of the late 2000s. Look, I've been following this team my entire life, and I can tell you that this feels different. There is a sense of urgency in the building that I haven't seen in a long time. They know they were the best team in baseball for the first 4 months of last year, and they know they let it slip away. Trading for a guy like Luis Robert Jr. isn't just a roster move, it's a statement of intent. It tells the Dodgers, the Braves, and the Mets that the road to the National League pennant still runs through Broad Street. It's about that ring the bell mentality. We aren't here to just participate, we are here to dominate. The prospect of having Robert Jr., Harper, and Turner as the face of this franchise for the next 3 years is enough to give any fan chills. It is the kind of move that turns a playoff contender into a perennial powerhouse. So here is my objective take. The risk is high, but the reward is a World Series trophy. If Robert stays healthy, he is an MVP candidate. If he doesn't, it's a setback. But with our current depth, it's a risk we have to take to get over the hump. I want to throw it over to you now, the best fans in the world. What do you think about these rumors? Would you be willing to trade away Mick Abel and Justin Crawford to bring Luis Robert Jr. to Philly? Or do you think the injury history is too much of a red flag to ignore? Drop your trade packages and your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one of them. Don't forget to follow Phillies Fan Central, like the video, and hit that bell so you're always in the loop. This is a community for the fight in Phils, and I am so glad you are a part of it. Let's keep that energy up all winter long. Go Phils.